Morning.
Good morning.
So this is, spring just around the corner has us thinking about maybe changing things, moving, and for a lot of people, maybe they're looking to buy their first home, get into the market. Let's start at the very beginning. What is the very first step you do if you want to buy a house?
So before I'm gonna interrupt you first.
Oh, right. We have a little happy birthday to say.
We do. We have a viewer out there, and he is my step grandfather. So I want to, if I'm pretty sure he's watching right now. So Poppy Joe Quinn is watching this right now. He is turning 102 today. And he is a Korean and World War II vet. So for Poppy Joe watching it there, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
All right.
So
now we're going to talk real estate.
Now we're
But
going to
that was a
talk
very special birthday that could not be
102.
not mentioned, right?
102.
Let's talk about that first time you
Yes.
buy a house, because it can be intimidating, overwhelming, and there's a lot of things to take care of. But
Sure.
if you do all the steps, it can also be a lot of fun.
It can be, and that I love the fact that you said that, because buying a home should be fun. It should not be a stressor. And if you feel the stress, then there's certain steps that we need to take away so that you don't feel the stress.
Okay.
So, first time home buyer, is now a great time to buy? Absolutely, right? If you can find the right home at the right time in your life, you just have to think ahead. What is your plan? What does your life look like 3 years to 5 years from now? Because that will help you decide your factors. Do you want to live rurally, or do you want to live in the city? Do you want to be able to walk to the bakery, or are you okay just having more space, 2 acres, 3 acres, 4 acres? That might be your thing. The biggest thing that you need to start with is financing. And a lot of people get intimidated by that. What does your financing look like? We've all heard about the interest rate hikes. There is some headspace that the Bank of Canada will stop raising interest rates. We don't know. If I had a crystal ball, right? We don't. There is thought that the interest rate hikes will stop. Yet, no matter what, if you secure your financing, then you will have that compartmentalized. You will have it secured for 90 days.
Okay.
So
you get approved by a bank or a lender of some kind, and they say, yes, you are approved for X number of dollars. They base it on your income, your debt, all of the things that they check up on you. Then you have 90 days to start that search. How important is it that you get that done before you go looking?
It's crucial.
You've seen what happens if people don't. They walk
Yep.
into a house, they love it, but they don't have everything in line.
They
yet.
don't have everything in line,
And then they lose it.
they right.
Yeah.
They wait. They're like, oh, I need approval and stuff like that. The first step is talk to a realtor and talk to a lender. And lenders, mortgage lenders, have a tendency to be able to shop around a little bit more than a bank.
Right. Okay, so once you have your numbers, it's more than just buying the house. I think this is a common mistake at any stage of life. We forget that it's not just the house, it's the moving costs, it's the other bills, it's this, it's that. There's a lot that goes into that. So what other costs should you consider that are the ones that we often will forget?
So that is a great question. So when you're buying, first and foremost, a realtor is free. Okay, so let's just get that clear in the fact that when you use a realtor as buying, they are there to protect you, and they are there to negotiate for you so that you get the best deal for you and your situation and whatever that is. Yet, of course, there are other costs. So you'll have to look at lawyers and the title search and everything else. So, and it, depending on how you're moving, whether you are a first-time home buyer or you are downsizing or you are upsizing, whatever it is, I tell everyone, take about 2% of the cost that you are buying and incorporate that into it.
Okay, that's a good way to do it. That gives you a rough idea in terms of the number you're looking at for all of that stuff. Yeah, because with lawyers, you can't skirt that. You
No.
have to sign off on legal fees. Closing costs. What is that?
So closing costs are, as you mentioned, so it may be lawyer fees, right? And lawyers, a lot of people, and I love my lawyers, so no lawyers reach it. I love my lawyers. You need a lawyer to close a home. You need them. And they have costs too. Even something as simple as registering your home in your name.
Right.
It might be paper and ink. It might be phone calls to the other lawyers. Also, if you're buying a condo, are you having to deal with a condo fee, right? The other thing that a lot of people don't realize, it's the adjustments. So let's say, for example, I was buying your home, right? You already paid your taxes for the whole year, but I'm buying your home. So I now need to pay you back for your taxes,
Right.
or your water, or your hydro. So there is a statement of adjustments that is done by the lawyers that they make sure that everything is fair and square, including propane, gas, etc.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that.
Once you start to get all of that put together, and it may sound overwhelming if you're listening and you're thinking, I want to buy my first home, but I don't know what all of that means, and there's so much to it. That's the kind of thing that your broker or your bank or your realtor can help you with.
Absolutely.
Really, I mean, kind of make almost like a little list and an approximate of what you might be looking at once you know what you are approved for, which that in of itself is probably the easiest thing to do first when you go to the bank and you just, here's what I make, here's what my debts, and they make that decision for you, essentially, what you're going to be able to borrow to buy that house.